You familiar with this tool? Have you seen one? Have you used one? It's a big AC electromagnet. It's a bulk degausser, and it was a once very popular tool used by television technicians and a lot of people who recorded magnetic tape, or archivists who were responsible for keeping track of libraries of tapes. And the bulk degausser was once very popular. Just about everybody who was seriously into audio recording had one of these. And I was digging through the archives and I came across this unit and I thought, I bet a lot of people these days have never even seen a bulk degausser, or more or less used one, otherwise known as a bulk eraser. Now, all this is a big AC electromagnet that puts out a strong magnetic field. And that field can demagnetize whatever is in its path. And so this was used for taking the magnetism off of things. So if you had a screwdriver that was magnetic and it would grab onto screws, you could pass this over the screwdriver and it would no longer attract screws. It would no longer be magnetized. And so this was used for fixing up televisions and eliminating data on media. And it's really effective and it's very secure. So if you had a company and you had a bunch of recordings of boardroom conversations that had some confidential information in it, and you wanted to erase those recordings, well, this would be your friend, because this can very quickly erase all those recordings completely, thoroughly, so that that information can practically never be recovered. Used to be used by TV technicians because back in the days when we were using televisions with glass picture tubes rather than today's flat screen technology, those glass picture tubes relied upon internal magnets to steer the beam around to paint the image onto the screen. And so for the hours that tube was running, there was magnetic flux being used to paint the images on the screen, and that magnetism inside of the TV set would cause other parts of the TV set to start to become slightly magnetic, such as the metal chassis and the picture tube itself. And since the beam was being deflected magnetically, that stray magnetism in the TV set would cause minor inaccuracies as to where the beam was being deflected to and how it was painting the picture on the screen. And of course, you have to deflect that beam extremely accurately in order to have a high-definition, good-looking picture. So if stray magnetism started building up in the TV set, you would start to see some distortion or discoloration, particularly in the corners of the picture tube where the colors weren't exactly perfect. Now, you could take a demagnetizer like this and sweep it over that picture tube for a little bit and restore the proper color balance and accuracy of the picture. So this was a tool used by a lot of television technicians. But it was mostly used by people who dealt with magnetic tape. So if you were an audiophile who did a lot of audio recording, or a recording studio, or maybe a company that recorded conversations in the boardroom, and you needed to be able to recycle your tapes and erase them quickly, this is the tool. A pushback argument saying, well, why do I need a special tool like that if I could just put the tape into the tape deck and record over it? The reason is that this is fast and easy. If the tape was an hour long and you wanted to erase the prior contents by recording over it, well, it's going to take an hour to record over that tape. And if you're an archivist at some company and you have a whole box full of confidential tapes, that could take you many hours to clean up before you're able to recycle those tapes or reuse them securely. Whereas with the bulk eraser, you can just pass this over the cassette tape or pass this over that open reel tape and erase the entire contents in seconds. And also, the field off of this device is so much stronger than the erase head in the tape deck. So if you just recorded over an old tape, that would probably do a pretty good job, but you might actually be able to hear little bits of traces of the prior recording that didn't get 100% completely and totally erased. There might be a faint echo of the prior material on that tape, even after recording over it on the tape deck. Whereas with the bulk eraser, this is so powerful that it just completely and totally erases all of the magnetism that was on that tape, leaving a completely blank slate like a brand new piece of tape. The other thing is that in recording tape, we almost always have multiple tracks on the tape. So you probably have stereo, which is left and right channel. If it's a recording studio, you might have 8 or 16 or 24 tracks on that tape. And even in digital tapes or videotapes, we still have tracks on the tape. So there's a area of the tape that we're recording information on, and then there's a dead man zone, and then another track next to it with more information. And so you could think of it like a highway where you have a striped line painted down the middle between the lanes. And we expect you to be in this lane or that lane, but not on top of the stripe. And that's sort of how the tapes were laid out with tracks on them. And the issue is that your tape deck might not have the exact same alignment as your friend's tape deck. If he then records over your tracks and his track alignment isn't exactly in alignment with your machine, there might be just a little bit of track overlap that he doesn't completely cover with his head because of the alignment differences. And also we're dealing with magnetic flux, so there isn't absolute razor-sharp boundaries as to where there's flux painted and where there's not. There's like a really strong signal and it just weakens over distance. And so in that no man's zone between the tracks, your tape deck isn't really able to get in there and erase that stuff. And so if there's any data that gets recorded between the tracks, it's pretty much inaccessible by your tape deck, but the data is still on the tape. And so that could create a security risk if you were really concerned. Whereas a bulk eraser, this doesn't respect any tracks. This just goes over the entire media and scrambles the magnetic field and makes it completely unreadable. So even if a spy agency tried to recover that data, they'd have a really difficult time. And like I said, it's very strong magnetic field, so it completely eliminates all of the prior recordings and leaves you with a pristine, clean, almost like new tape. And so these were used for erasing cassette tapes, open reel tapes, computer tapes, videotapes, computer floppy disks. Any kind of magnetic media could be passed under this device, and within seconds it would clean off all the data and leave a brand new pristine surface for you to record on. Could this erase a computer hard drive? Well, the platters that are inside of a computer hard drive, which store the magnetic data, are all encapsulated in a metal enclosure. So that metal enclosure may prevent a lot of the flux from this unit from actually getting down to those platters and doing a good job of scrubbing the data. The other issue that you would have is that in most hard drives, there are tracks written on the disk by the manufacturer called the servo track. And that's a calibration set of data that tells the drive how to operate, which end is up, if you will. And if you blow away every bit of magnetic media inside of the hard drive, you're also going to wipe out those factory printed servo tracks, which cannot, in most cases, be recreated by your computer. And so if you zap a hard drive with this, and it does get into the magnetic platters and erase them, I think that's going to make that hard drive toast. Next time you plug it in, it's probably going to have the click of death where it's just seeking and clicking and trying to find its home points, which it can't because the servo track is gone. So I think that this might be a way to completely erase a hard drive and make it totally inoperable evermore. So I don't advise using this on a modern computer hard drive. Now, like I said, it's just an AC electromagnet, so it puts out a really strong magnetic field, but it's AC, so that field is ever-changing. So it's flipping the north and south magnetic poles back and forth 50 or 60 times every second. So it's this big randomized magnetic field that's very strong that demagnetizes anything that gets too near it. These, of course, came in different shapes and sizes. This one was put out by Radio Shack way back in the day, and it's actually a pretty good bulky eraser. Because it's a big AC electromagnet, there's just a big coil of wire wrapped around a iron former in here. That can get pretty hot with use. So these units had a duty cycle that was pretty short. So you could turn it on and run it for maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds, maybe a minute. But after that short time of being used, you would then have to turn the device off and let it cool down for a few minutes before going at it again. These, of course, came in different sizes and shapes, but they're all basically work on the same principle. There were a lot of handheld devices like this that looked pretty similar. Some of them didn't have the handle here, but they just had a push button on the side, and it was kind of a blob. There are some larger units that are used for commercial applications. Some units, for example, that were conveyor belt style. So it was a desktop unit that took up a modest amount of real estate that had a conveyor belt, somewhat like a grocery store checkout. And under that conveyor belt was a very powerful magnet, so you could just drop tapes onto the conveyor belt and it would walk them over the magnet and erase them. The Degausser or bulk eraser was really easy to use, but you did have to understand how to use it properly. Like I mentioned, there's a duty cycle, so you can only run it for about 30 seconds or maybe a minute at most. But you would hold it in one hand, and then you'd hold your media, like your cassette tape or open reel tape or videotape, in the other hand, and you would keep them separated an arm's length apart. And then, while they're separated, you would turn on the bulk eraser and slowly bring your media into the eraser until they're contacting. And then, while it's contacting, you would move this back and forth over all parts of the media. And then I would flip the tape over to get the other side and go over it again. Now, honestly, this is probably strong enough that it'll blast through the entire thickness of the tape and you don't need to flip it. But that's what I would do, is I'd flip the tape over and I'd rub this all over the other side. And then, while keeping the eraser powered on through all of this, I would slowly move my media, my tape, away until it's arm's length away, and then I would turn off the bulk eraser. Because when you turn this unit on or turn it off, it creates a big, powerful magnetic spike pulse coming out. And if you put that pulse onto your tape, it might make a thumping sound every time that tape moves through. And so you don't want your tape going thump, 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 because you applied a big transient pulse to it with this device. And this is such a strong magnet that it puts a pulse on there that might be strong enough that your tape deck couldn't even overcome it with its own little erase head. Now, of course, if you did that, no foul, you could just take that tape and once again run it through the bulk eraser and clean that off. But it could cause problems for your recording. So, a little blast from the past of audio history, which was the bulk eraser. It's a pretty impressive tool, pretty powerful tool. And it still works well today for making magnetic things not so magnetic. But we don't use a lot of magnetic tape anymore, so we don't see a lot of these anymore. And it's just one of those tools that so many audiophiles had that has just sort of disappeared into the dustbin of history. Hope you enjoyed this little nostalgic walk back in time with me. And if you have memories of bulk erasers, please drop them down below. Let us know what your experience was. Hey, if you enjoyed this little slice of audio nostalgia, history, and you want to hear about other tips and tricks and interesting things, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate it. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you again soon on another upcoming video.